charging the phone. So I'm in Proverbs, y'all. Give me a second so I can find something to put y'all up here. I know it's been a minute, but we out, so let's do it. It says, when pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. The integrity of the upright will guide them, but the perverts, perverity of the unfaithful will destroy them. Riches do not profit in one day. Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteous of the blameless will direct his way aright, but the wicked will fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright will deliver them, but the unfaithful will be caught with their lust. When a wicked man dies, his expectations will perish, and the hope of the unjust perishes. For the last 2 days, I've been having somebody aunt on my table, and I kept asking myself, did I want to deliver this message? There's somebody aunt that could be on the father side of the family that is working on your behalf to bring something to give you something for you can have something. Okay. I also say working together, teamwork. Okay, it's got something to do with something that your generation or your ancestors, they didn't meet the expectations, so it's on you to pass something. I did get this card, ancestral debt. And ancestral debt to me means when there's a tribe or family that does something and they continue to do something and they leave their family that's not even born yet in debt, right? And that's where you get generational curses from. Like, generational curses come from things that we hide up underneath the rug, where we don't want to address things because we feel like addressing them is snitching, right? But it's something about that first part I read. Y'all, don't judge me about my Bible. It said, when pride comes, then comes shame. But with the humble is wisdom. I feel like for a lot of y'all been humble for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people could be asking, like, why you so humble, and what makes you, what floats your boat? Why are you the way you are? But they don't know the things that you've been through. You understand what I'm saying? See, somebody right now is dealing with pride. They're losing things because of their pride. And a lot of people don't understand, when you when you do wrong, wrong gonna follow you. No matter how you try to do right, if you don't make something right, that the debt that you have racked up is gonna follow you, right? Hey guys, hey Alvin, hey Misha, hey to all my new subscribers. Thank you guys for being here. But I feel like somebody right now is a little upset with you because everything that they've done out of pride has only gained you winnings. Everything that they've done out of pride, you've only been healing. You've been, a lot of time people say, that they think that they can beat karma. They think that they can beat doing what's wrong. When you do something wrong, it either's gonna come back when you get older, or it's gonna come back when you start doing what's right. I got a lot of my clients ask me, well, Camillia, why is it that now that I'm doing everything right, everything wrong keeps happening? Because sometimes I don't know if you forget, but some people may forget. But when you do wrong things and you think you get away with it, it always comes back. And pride will bring you to shame. Because most times people that's prideful don't want to apologize, and they don't like to make things right. Some things can be resolved over a simple conversation. Sometimes people let things snowball when they don't have to snowball, instead of just making things right. See, when you repent and you ask God for forgiveness, that doesn't just mean the things that you remember. That means all the things that you've done, you're asking God for forgiveness for. Sometimes people be mad at you, but they don't understand that you've already asked God for forgiveness. And a lot of times you've been asking God for forgiveness your whole life because you've been born into karmic situations where you've only been doing what you've seen done. A lot of times you got to forgive your parents because a lot of times they mean you no wrong. They only did to you what they thought was fit. And a lot of times things are passed down from generation to generation. But when you know God and you want to be a better person, you start breaking those generational curses, like treating your kids better. Not allowing things to be swept under the rug, but also holding yourself accountable when you do something wrong. God loves all his children. And a lot of times before we get right, God still blesses us because he knows our potential, but he also knows that a lot of times we act out of brokenheartedness. See, God goes where the brokenhearted is. A lot of people feel like because they read their Bible and they're Christians, in their eyes, they think that the things that they do, that they won't be blamed for. Yes, God is a forgiving God, but when he puts in your spirit to make something right with somebody or pray for somebody or give to somebody, it's best you be obedient, because a lot of times people lose things not because they aren't humble, but it's because they can't be obedient. They don't know how to be obedient. Oh, okay. Fear mean. I've never seen you before. I never seen you before here. I'm glad you guys are here. But I don't know why God put me in Proverbs, because normally when I get in my car, I always go to Psalms. But for something, God wanted me to read, the integrity of the upright will guide them, but the unfaithful will be destroyed. It says riches do not profit in a day. So that's for somebody. If you've been wondering, like, you've been putting in a lot of work, and you got to understand the things that we be working for, you ain't gonna see the profit of what you working for in a day. But it's okay to start over. It's okay to give yourself a break. It's okay to pour into yourself. A lot of times things fail because in the area somewhere in there, we're lacking to pour into ourselves the way that we should. I feel like a lot of times when we go through certain situations in our life, it's only God teaching us how to love ourselves correctly. I told somebody the other day, I said, I feel like this point of my life is being silent and observing everything. And I'm okay with having to start all over, because what I see out of starting all over is a new beginning. A new beginning to be a better person, a new beginning to meet new people, a new beginning to start all over. See, one thing about God, when he gives you something new, you can't go taking old things and old patterns in a new place. I found myself, y'all, backsliding, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I felt like because I had did something or talked to some people that I knew that I should have left in the past, that God was punishing me. But no, he was teaching me a lesson, how to love myself first and also be patient with myself with healing. See, a lot of people want to heal, but they don't talk about the time when you broken down in your car and you may be crying, or the time where your faith is being tested. See, sometimes we think we heal from things to God resurface something in our life to show us we really didn't heal from it. We only put a Band-Aid on top of it, and he really want to show us how to heal correctly. Sometimes you got to get away from the noise and the chaos so you can really hear from your ancestors. Sometimes you got to get away from social media and get away from things that you think you love to purge your system so that God can talk to you clearly. See, sometimes there's so much chaos going on around you that you can't hear the angels whispering to you, nor giving you the warnings before they happen. See, the biggest thing about failure is that you learn what not to do the next time. But you also learn you learn different ways of executing the problem, whatever problem it may be in your life. The only way you really learn yourself is to be alone. The only way that you can really understand why people act a certain way is if you separate yourself from certain people and start learning everything you can about you. I'm learning that when God takes something away, it doesn't mean that he's punishing me, but it means that it's somewhere in there I tried to skip over, or I did not listen, or I was being disobedient. But I do know that when God takes something away, he got something better in store. I'm learning more and more every day that when God closes a door, he's only closing the door because that chapter in my life is over and I can't go back there anymore. I want somebody to know that while you're healing, be patient with yourself. And also understand that certain times God placed people in your life for certain things that in your life that you need to heal. My friend, I told her that she was getting ready to get married. She just got engaged the other day. And I told her, I said, how do you feel about being somebody's fiance? How does that make you feel? But I also told her, I said, don't lose yourself with trying to pour into everybody else. See, being somebody's wife is big shoes to fill. And a lot of times we want to be the wife, but a lot of times we don't know that being a wife means more than just being somebody's equal partner. But sometimes you got to be things to him that he didn't get as a child to help him heal, but also to help you heal. I told her that she's an exceptional woman, and most times when you are a healer, you tend to get abused by people because they don't understand the journey that you are on in life. But being somebody's wife is a big commitment. And don't do it because your family wants you to do it or because friends want you to do it. Do it because there's something that you really want to do. Sometimes God will let me see things before it happens, and sometimes God will not show me things, but he'll whisper things to me that people needs to hear while they're going through. See, sometimes people smile, but a lot of times they be going through things that they can't even fathom to explain to you that they're going through. See, sometimes we think we got more time on earth than we have. So we feel like that we can make it right with people that God placed in our life to make us better people. Sometimes we misuse the wrong people and we uplift the people that do us wrong. But that's only because we so used to being in traumatic situations that when it's quiet and it's pure and it's honest, we think something wrong with it. Some of y'all are God's miracles. That's why you can't be around any and everybody. That's why certain things happen to you that other people could never get through. That's why God tests you different than he tests other people. But I need you to understand that God knew you were going to get through it, and he would never test you or set you up in a place if he didn't know that you were going to get through it. See, God never gives you something without knowing that you're going to get through it. And God knows what area in your life you need to be loved. And he knows who to send in your life to show you how to love you better. The biggest thing that God has taught me this year is to learn to love me with all of my imperfections. But learn to do research about things that I really want to know and stop asking questions. See, the world will give you answers that they want you to have. That's why it's best to do your own research and have a covenant with God. I told my friend that in this marriage, ask God about everything. Ask God to reveal to you who your fiance truly, what he means in your life, but also ask her to pray about everything and worry about nothing. It says, he who finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So like I told her, This part of your life is supposed to be about bliss. But understand you both are human. And you gonna make mistakes along the road of loving each other because y'all not perfect. But any love worth having is gonna go through some things. But I told her never stop loving who she is. To love herself. Not for that man, not for that child, not for the life that they trying to build together, but love herself for who she is. And never lose herself to be his wife. See, a lot of times I had to tell her what nobody told me when I got proposed to. What nobody told me about the shoes you feel when somebody wants you to be their wife. But I also had to tell her that she was a phenomenal woman. And a lot of people wait on making, they wait. They're afraid to leave where they from. They're afraid to get married because they're really afraid of loving somebody wholeheartedly. I think that's a lot, that marriage has a lot to do with loving somebody that you didn't even know that you was going to love, or loving somebody in a way that you never thought that you can love somebody. But I really was happy because when I told her this in her reading 3 months ago, I didn't know it was going to happen so soon. But I automatically started thanking God, because it wasn't me and my intuition and me being intrusive. It was me praying to God, asking God what message that I needed to give her. See, sometimes you're going to wait on God. You may wait on God for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 10 years. But know why you waiting. He don't want you to complain, and he wants you to be grateful for everything that he did make right in your life. I seen the card on my table that said that somebody is going to receive a financial payment, and it's going to be a check signed by God. But what I really meant by that is, where you think that God doesn't hear you, he hears you. And it's going to be unexpected, but you're going to know that the blessing came directly from God. See, sometimes when God put people in your life, you know when they were sent directly from God. I had to tell my friend that all blessings are not just tangible, but sometimes they people. God will bless you with a phenomenal person that has been hurt before but healed, that's on the journey that you are going to walk on the journey that they are on. But God wants you to be around amazing people because he already know how amazing you are. I feel like a lot of us older, that's my age, we didn't really grow up with a lot of hugs and I love you before you leave, or don't dot that door without telling me you love me. Because a lot of us don't understand it. Sometimes you may be seeing that person for the last time. I think that's why my grandmother always say, Camillia, first impressions are the best. So who've done you wrong, or whatever walk that you are on with God, understand he forgives you already. And you don't have to beat yourself up about things that you did not know, or things that you were taught from your parents. See, the first part of healing is forgiving them first. Because a lot of the mistakes that they made, they really didn't mean to make them. That's all they knew. And I'm not taking up for nobody parents for being however they was to you. Because there's no excuse that can make up for a hurtful parent. But I once asked my grandmother, I said, Granny, why every time I go to hug you or kiss you, you push me away? She said, we didn't really grow up and we loved that they loved us, or that I was special. And she was the baby. Felt like God placed me in my grandmother's life to show her how to love somebody correctly, but I also know that tomorrow not promised. So I feel like before she died, she started like kissing me more, hugging me more, and saying, I love you, even if I was just going down the street to buy a pack of cigarettes. See, I remember, and don't judge me if I get emotional on this one. I remember one time I told my grandmother, I said, I feel like you hate me. She said, I could never hate you, baby. She said, but one day I was asleep and God came to me about you. And I said, what you talking about, Granny? She said, I can't treat you any kind of way. She said, God got on me about you. She said, Camillia, you special. She said, no, I don't love you the way I love your sister. Because you strong. And I always know you going to find a way. She said, but I'm sorry. Because you never thought we loved you. And that was the first time I ever heard my grandmother tell me she was sorry. I feel like most children that they say are angry or bad, they really looking for love. And they really be feeling distraught because they feel like the people that are supposed to love them really don't. I had to forgive my grandmother because the way that I wanted her to love me, she just didn't know how. But that didn't mean she didn't love me. But then I had to forgive myself because I can't make you love me the way I need you to love me. See, in life, God will never tell you what you're going to go through or how hard your test for your testimony will be. But I feel like he knew that I was going to be a good mother. And all the love that I felt that I didn't receive, I had it inside of me to give my children or other people's children. Forgiving ain't easy, man. Sometimes when you healing, you go through the point of mourning, and then you go through the point of being angry. I'm learning it's okay to start over with healing and to take as much time as I need because I done been through a hell of a lot. But I'm nobody's victim. When I made my YouTube channel, I just wanted people to see me for who I truly was. So when you awarded a state, everybody make up a story for you. Why you so angry? They start to call you liars because bad things happen to you and they don't want to face what happened to you. But one thing I know about God, I done had a lot of near-life death experiences. And before he show you what you've done wrong or things you could have made right. I know for sure it's true that God will be a father to the fatherless and a mother to the motherless. I always feel like I had a hole in my heart because the people that I wanted to love me just couldn't love me. And then I surrounded myself around people that was broken, just as broken as me. And then we trauma bond together. But that's not the energy God wants me to stand in. I'm learning that I can fall and I'm gonna be able to get up again. But I don't have to hide the way that I feel or my emotions from people that never walked in my shoes. People say that when people die, it'll get easier. It gets harder for people that feel like they never had people, and then the ones that they feel like they did have to die. And then I don't know why my family, my grandmother and my adopted father, they visit me, but they won't visit nobody else. And sometimes I feel like it's because while they're on earth, they feel like they didn't protect me enough. So while they gone, they protected me. Man, I don't know where God gonna take me. Collective, I don't know where God gonna take you. Just keep your heart pure. And always know that even things that you don't understand today, some stuff is meant for you to understand later on. Make things right if you can. Put yourself first. Put God first and then yourself. A lot of people tend to pour into people that would never pour into them. I feel like this is a part of my life I'm being selfish with my energy, with my time, where I place my focus, and the people that I love. I only want to love people that's going to love me back. I only want to be around people that are completely honest with me. And I want to ride for people that's going to ride for me, good, bad, or ugly. See, that's the kind of love that I feel like a mother should have taught, but my mother didn't teach. They don't tell you that. Most times when you love people, them be the ones that break your heart the most. So, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cut people off. It's okay to go in your shell. It's okay to go into a hermit to regroup. It's okay to get away from what you familiar to. It's okay to not be okay. We live in a world where everybody gotta act like they perfect and everybody okay. But deep down they dealing with depression, mental health issues, abandonment issues. Some of them dealing with being incarcerated for things that they didn't even do. But they ain't had nobody to love or speak up for them. Most of them dealing with absentee fathers. So they asked me, somebody told my sister, it was like, yeah, I seen Camillia. She's so humble. It's an honor to be a servant for God in my older age. To still be living in the land where I live. To be able to go places and I don't be touched. It's, Something about the way God favors the ones he favors. I used to hear my grandmother talk about favor, but I never really knew what favor was till I was held at gunpoint and raped and left for dead. Then I knew God favored me. And I also knew that I had a job to do because I could have died that night. But God wasn't done with me. I get a little sad around this time of year, close to my father's birthday. I get a lot of downloads. People, I swear they know your story or listen to somebody tell them something about you. To God, I have to show them who you truly are. So I'm learning to know that God closes the doors that he needs to be closed. And the ones that he leaves open, he leaves them open for a reason. But boy, is God teaching me how to love myself with every imperfection, every scar, every bruise, every misunderstanding. God is teaching me how to not just say I love myself, but to show up for me. To say no when I mean no and stand on it. To never be codependent of anybody or anything. The way God will teach you. See, some people always thinking that, oh, God taking this away because I did something wrong, or this person hurting me because only trying to teach you how to love you. Only teaching you how to protect yourself, your energy, your peace. I had to tell my friend, I said, don't get mad when that person don't love the way that you love. And don't change your heart because they don't love you the way that you love them. I think that was the best advice that I could have gave her. Nobody will never love you the way that you love them. But they can show up for you and they can show you appreciation. Because you gotta understand, some people was raised off survival. Others was raised off love. So if deep down, I really don't love you, I'm only trying to survive, I'm gonna hurt you every time. People would think, out of everything I've been through, that I'm off of survival, but I love hard. That's why I have to be careful who I love. And now that I'm thinking about it, my daddy and my grandmother, they didn't really show too much love to a lot of people. Hell, my adopted father barely smiled. But now I understand why. I was taking my son to summer school, and his aunt friend mother, his aunt friend told him, he said, nobody really knows, never really see me around my oldest son, but told my son's aunt, he said she's a prophet. Call myself a prophet. I just think that God goes where the brokenhearted is. And he really connect with the people that connect with him heavy. I make it my business to talk to God even while I'm sleeping. Sometimes he'll wake me up to pray about somebody. Lately, it's been a woman's name in my spirit to pray for. I don't even never think me and this lady was friends or anything. I wrote her name down in my Bible to pray for her. Lately, I've been asking God, what do he see in me to choose me? Now I'm not asking him that no more, because I don't want to question him. He said, spirit follows her. Never spoke to this man or nothing. He said, she is special. She's gifted. And some people, God will hide their gift from me. I don't know they're special, but I just won't know what kind of gift God gave them. I'm so happy that I got a new therapist, and God's been giving me amazing people that don't judge me, but give me good advice, but also make me remember the things that I've been through, that I can't give up, that even though I can take a break to regroup, get some balance, don't give up. But somebody's aunt has been heavy in the spirit, trying to protect you. I don't know if you guys may have had a falling out before, or I don't know if you may have been this aunt's favorite, but there's an aunt, and I just left on my table. Sometimes I'll do that. Psalms 119 open. She wants you to know about somebody, three or more people that could have been working up against you, but she's working for you in the spirit. Her and God, a few archangels to protect some type of abundance that's coming your way. I seen the word rabbit. When Bree came to visit me, craziest thing, we were sitting in a park and a rabbit appeared. Rabbits mean abundance, some type of financial breakthrough, blessings. So for me to pull an aunt, and then that was like, as much I kept like, I'm gonna go live, but God kept putting me in a tub, making me pray and sleeping. Putting me in a tub, making me pray. I cried. I've been crying, but not a bad cry, like a cry just to know that trouble don't last always. I had a friend that died when he was 16 years old. We all went to Dunbar together. And I thought I kind of had healed from his death. But when I seen his face on this plugger, his energy just started coming back to me, and he was talking to me about his baby mother. At first, the spirits used to scare me, but now they more or less peaceful. They'll give me a message. I got a download about somebody that drowned. Could have died in 89 or 98. This person could be a fire sign. Birthday is getting ready to come up in Leo season. They want to connect with their family. I don't know how this person drowned, but it's a male. Drowned. It keeps coming to me. Sometimes at 4-4. Sometimes at 2-2. Love the color yellow. He has a short haircut. They cut his hair after he died. That's what he kept telling me. Something about cutting his hair. He gave me the scripture where the man was laying down and they cut his hair in the Bible. For him, that was a betrayal because he wanted his hair. Something about this young man that drowned in his hair. Oh, it's okay. Hugs and I love you started with my generation because a lot of my classmates died young. Yeah. This message is on time because I'm feeling alone and lonely. Oh, no. You're always a great encouragement. Oh, thank you. But his name, we used to call him Sajo. And he was, we were all young, but he was young having babies. But he never crossed his boundary. He never crossed no boundaries with me. And he was always so protective over me. Like when we would go to his neighborhood and they'd be shooting and stuff, he'd be like, man, you could go in the house with my baby mama. He was always such a man at a young age. We were number 16 years old. And I thought they had forgot about him. He got killed over there by Stony. I think somebody shot him in his head. And I remember getting into it with my grandmother about going to his funeral. But he was such a cool guy, man. He was before his time. I had a friend that died at an after hour. I pulled a few cards on him, but I don't like to nudge in people's energy without their ancestors saying it's okay. But once I said his name, and I'm like, is it okay? And the things that he revealed through the cards. I pray that his spirit don't have no peace right now because he feels betrayed. And had he listened to himself, he never goes to kick it, but some wanted him to kick it with his sister. I've been playing his music. His energy been real heavy on me. Sometimes it be people that's closest to you that can't stand to see you happy. Or rearrange for you to meet them at a certain place and off you. Because of the people that, not because of what you have, but the people that love you. That boy had a baby, and his baby mama was pregnant with a baby. See, a lot of people don't understand what the death does. The death don't only affect the person, that it affects so many other families. A lot of these men be taking care of their homies' kids. Then you kill him. Now the homie ain't got nobody. Now the baby that the homie was taking care of, now this baby really ain't got nobody because you done took. It's just and to me, we get down on each other, man. We'll kill each other. leave each other for dead. But every other race, and we so brilliant, can heal each other, can help each other open businesses. We could do a lot, but we just choose just to be crabs in a bucket ass energy. I wish I knew more about helping people to get financially stable. I feel like God is making me wait to know certain things because would nobody not have it? We gonna get to a point where you're gonna have to be growing your own fruits and vegetables. You're gonna have to be paying attention to what you pay attention to the food. If you're not paying attention, baby, pay attention to this food. Pay attention to the hair greases. Pay attention to the things that back then in the 90s and the 80s had how the sulfate and the greases were to the way they are today. Pay attention. I'm praying to God like I told my daughter, I said, if you don't do nothing else for me, become the doctor that you say you're going to be, baby. For us. Free our people. And I said, when you become this doctor, the things that you find out going to make you mad. But you cannot tell. You're going to find out some things. And it's going to shock you. And she said, Mama, I just want to heal everybody. I don't want nobody to die of cancer. I don't want nobody to die of diseases. I said, baby, I hear you. Because I know you can become a doctor. But the things that you going to find out along that way, just like I did about religion, Christianity, can't nobody tell me how to love God. Can't nobody tell me that God don't love me. I was not always who I am today. I wanted to hurt people because my life was shitty. I didn't like to see little girls walking hand in hand with their mother because I wanted mine there for me. But then I became a mother. I used to see little girls with their mothers and they were so close. And the teacher would try to tell the mother something about her daughter and the mother would stick up for the kid. I was a foster kid, adopted child. I had teachers that bust my lip with wooden sticks. I had one teacher. Her name was Miss Braggs. She smacked me so hard, she left an imprint on my face. When my adopted mother came and got me, instead of asking me was I okay, she turned and smacked me in my face too. I can't phantom somebody hitting my child or even making them feel belittled. I remember feeling dumb because we went to so many foster homes and shit that we would get to school and I didn't know how to read. And because I didn't know how to read, I would get my ass whooped for it. But no adult never said, well, damn, they been from home to home. They probably don't know shit. I had one good foster mother, but she was wicked too. She had me a tutor. That's how I know that African American people could be very smart. They came to tutor me every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But she would do shit like put ketchup on my macaroni. And because I didn't eat it and I would throw it in the garbage, she would dig the food out the garbage and make me eat it. People say, oh, shit happened to you as a kid. That doesn't affect what type of adult you become. Yes, it does. It truly does. If you don't have the right people around you that support you, that want to see you win, despite of your childhood or whatever you've been through. I used to think that people was just hateful because they wanted to be hateful, but hate is taught. That shit is taught. You have the right to be mean, or you got the right. And I remember so many things that if I bring up as an adult, people will act like they don't remember. That shit, it bothers me because no, I'm not a perfect parent, but I guarantee each and every one of my children gonna have something that they didn't agree with when they grow up. And me as being a good mother, I'm gonna have to accept it. And I'm gonna have to listen to them. But my kids, I'm so open with my kids that when shit bothers them, they talk about it. They don't let it sit. I wish I was that kind of kid. I wanted everybody to be happy. So a lot of times, even when things was done wrong to me, I wouldn't say nothing about it. You could truly fuck a kid up when you fucked up. And it doesn't matter if you try to gift them with things, and it doesn't matter if you wait till they get older and you apologize. If you do not make it right, when it's time to go, God gonna show you where you did wrong. Not to punish you, but to show you. I be always telling my kids, like, sometimes I cry to them. I be like, I just want y'all to have better than what I did. And it's each and every, and sometimes Malachi comes, he be like, Mom, you a good mother. But I want to be better than that. I can remember out of all the shelters I was in, seeing my real father once with a Christmas sweater on. Seeing everybody go home, and I'm still waiting. So now that my adopted father is dead and my real father is still living, I'm trying to forgive him. I don't know how. I don't got nothing bad to say about him, but when I'm not around my kids, I feel sick. Sometimes I can't eat. Sometimes I can't get out the bed. Be like a part of me is missing. I beg for them to get a break. I'm like, man, I need a break. And as soon as they're gone, it's like, yeah, I'm not right. I don't know, y'all. I know that life ain't promised. I don't mind apologizing when I'm wrong. And most times, children deal with shit you don't even know they dealing with. Because they don't want to make the parents sad. I make it my business to talk to my kids. Let them express themselves. Hell, our dad and took up cursing sometimes. Is it good? No. But every kid curse. As many surgeries she done been through. I think that's the least I can hear from her. I'm gonna write this book. I'm gonna get some amazing people around me to write everything I can remember that ever happened to me. And people gonna be mad because I'm gonna be speaking the truth. It ain't even gonna be to be messy. It's gonna be like a part of me that's gonna be able to heal. Sometimes people be embarrassed or ashamed about the things they've been through in life. Every time I talk about it, something inside of me heal a little bit more. I ain't gonna lie. I'm going to pray for you because you're adopted dad. You have to forgive him for yourself, not for an apology for him, but so you can let go of the hurt and anger. I probably do. You kind of have to feel sorry for your father. I forgive him. You get you one? You get you one? I forgive him already, man. I just be looking at people like, how could you not care? Or, I don't know. And I think people be feeling some type of way because my adopted father gonna always be my daddy. Like the reason I carry Chalmers is because of my adopted father. I'm not a real Chalmers, you know. But he made sure that I carried his last name. He all I know is a father. Hell, but really my uncle. When he died, I really was made to feel like the adopted. You know, when he was alive, couldn't catch people to say my uncle. He wouldn't even accept people to say my uncle. But I thank him though. I don't think I've been able to stand a chance in these Audi homes nowadays. These damn they completely different. See, back in the day, you had people that supervised us and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We weren't just, it was a lot of kids in the shelter, I remember, but we were never just all alone. It was always somebody supervising us. And like I said, in a lot of shelters, it was somebody that always took a liking to me. I had a woman, she was so kind to me. She would bring me her daughter's dresses, lotion me up, bathe me. God will send his hidden angels to help you, for real, for real. Only time they really broke me is when it was time for her to go home when her shift was over. But like while she was there throughout the day, it was normal. But I seen so many kids go home. And because my sister only has one lung, we were always separated. She had a lot of her childhood, she was in the hospital. I was there when her lung collapsed in my arms. I was 3. I remember so much shit, man. I be asking God, like, how do people forget some of the things that they went through? It seems like God won't let me forget it until I do something with it. Yeah. I remember we always stayed over east, so she used to have to go to Larrabee Hospital. I remember she got taken, and they let me see her before they took me to a shelter. And she just looked so weak and tired. But she never cried. I guess she was always being strong for me. And it's so crazy because you would think we'd be close as thieves. Because as kids, we always fought to be around each other. It was only me and her. I got over 7 adopted brothers. A lot of adopted brothers, but we were the only one in the system. Yeah, I met a lot of amazing nurses and a lot of amazing nurse practitioners and social workers. I met some amazing people. I met some amazing people. Sometimes I can watch something and it'll mess me up. It'll take me back to my childhood. I'll be silent for a few days. Really don't want to talk to nobody. I had to understand that as tough as me and my sister's story was, there's so many other kids that went through things that was way worse that we would talk to in the shelters. Like, there's one kid that was burned by his own mother. She burned him real bad too. And when you first get burned, it be real ugly, right? Everybody was making fun of him, but I took a liking in this kid. Kids could be cruel too, man. But I met a lot of people. Sometimes I be thinking that when I get once I got a certain age that I won't remember their faces from being little. But I can still remember some of them. Some of them still remember me. Yeah. I think that's probably why I don't really crack too hard under pressure when I see a lot of blood or somebody been hurt. Thank God because I kind of shell shocked to it from seeing it at a young age. I could tell you stories you wouldn't even believe. My sister used to have a lot of asthma attacks growing up. A lot of them. She always had a hard time breathing. They always think that the baby, they really be spoiled and they get a lot. Shit, I was a baby, but shit, it ain't never feel like it. I always felt like I had to be more mature. I always had to be the bigger person. Yep. I had one of my clients to tell me that she had a dream I had a business helping children. Sure did. She a spiritualist as well. She a damn good one too. But she said that she had a dream that I was helping children. Hmm. I wish, I pray that once I do the book, I can get somebody to make it out of a movie. Maybe it'd be a Lifetime movie or something like that. I'm sending you a huge hug. Oh, hey, Lash. I haven't seen you here. It said that once you can talk about your pain, you're healed or you're healing. Over the weekend, I watched I Am Somebody's Child. It's here on YouTube for free. It's a true story book and all. I gotta watch it. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. No weapon formed against this one of my favorite shirts. Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 17. One of my favorites here. I'm gonna have to watch the movie. What is it called? Somebody's Child. You know which one that really got me? Uh, I gotta ask my baby. But it was about a whole bunch of foster kids getting into this one family. And a lot of people doubted this family. But they end up raising them kids. You know. They went through some things. But it was in the movies not even a year ago. Yeah. And you know, Princess said she will help me write my book. But I don't know. I don't know. I want her to be able to read it when everybody else reads it too. I really do. I want her to read it and be like, damn. So this is what you didn't tell me about you. You know? But yeah. I have started parts of it, chapters of it. I think I'm up to like 4 chapters. But sometimes when I get to start writing, I get to crying and I put that book down. I be like, heck, I don't want to do it. But I know I got it. I'm going to do it. My mother wrote a book. It actually did pretty good. Now, I don't know what else all about, but some of it was her childhood. She sold it off. But she did write a book, though. And she sold a nice amount of copies, too. But you know what? Every time I see my parents, nothing will make me hate them. When I see my mother, I hadn't seen my mother. I think since 2000. 2000 is 22 or 1. Before then I hadn't seen her over 20 years. 22 years. And when I seen her little self, I almost fell out the door. I was so happy to see her. I had a good time when she was here too. All my kids got a chance to see my mother. They had never seen their grandmother. They couldn't believe it. They kept saying, Mama, is this your adopted mother? I'm like, no, this is my real mother. I'm glad they got a chance to see her at an age that they can remember her. Yeah. And let me tell you how good God is, right? So I had a dream that me and my mother was in the kitchen, and she had made me a pan of macaroni. And as I was tasting the macaroni, I was telling her, I was like, "Oh, Mama, this is so good." 2 years later, God, and I had been praying for it, like, God, you know, I just want to see my mother. I hope my mother comes back. I waited 2 years, and my grandmother had died. My adopted father had died, and God sent her home. And we were in that kitchen, and she was cooking for me, and I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do nothing but praise God. And I was like, God, this is God got a way of letting you know that His hands was always in it. And when my adopted father died, I carried a bit of resentment for her because she didn't come home. But the timing wasn't right. But boy, when she came home, was it peaceful? It was peaceful. But I didn't know her. And as much as I loved her, I was still kind of mad at her. But I was happy she was there. I was so happy she was there. And everybody who I thought loved me and wanted to see me happy, we got into it. We broke away from each other because I was so happy that she was here. I was so happy that she was here. And I think that's what makes me and my sister get into it a lot, because I always wanted parents, my sister say. But some people just don't have them. She was always strong with shit like that. You know, I'll be crying and wanting it and wanting it. And she be like, girl, I'm the best thing you got. She was like her own little, she was like my big sister, but like my mom. Like, she taught me things about people, the streets. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes I'm a mom to her without her saying it. Because she be telling me, like, I learned so much stuff from you. And she knows when she calls me, I'm like that possessive kind of little sister. Like, I ain't trying to hear nothing when it come to my sister. I promise to God. And people get so upset about that because they be like, I thought y'all was into it. I don't care if I'm into it. If my sister call me, I'm coming. I'm going to come. I'm coming because I know we ain't got nobody but me and her. I need to stop saying that. Somebody told me to stop saying that. Like, Camilla, you got people. You got people that love you. But I be always like, it's just me and her. Hey, Amber. God bless you, Camille. I'm headed to bed, but I just saw you were live and wanted to say hi. I hope you are doing. I'm doing good. Thank you for being here. Hi, welcome to the month of perfection. May God bless you and favor you and your family in Jesus' mighty name. Oh, thank you. Yeah, y'all. I was out this at this park. I'm finna I just wanted to give y'all a piece of me. I love y'all so much. I know baby, I be having to take these breaks for me. Cause some of the stuff I be having to just be to regroup. I be having to just go into hermit, into isolation for real, for real. So I could come out a better version of myself. The only person that I'm in competition with is me being a better version of me. Been holding myself accountable for so many things. And I feel like I've been asking God for new relationships, and He tested me to see am I really ready for those new relationships. Me time is best time. Yes, I be having to. But then it's summer break, and I'm finna get ready to have an 18-year-old. So that teenage stage. Yeah, it's been whooping me a little bit, but I ain't letting it get the best of me. It's been whooping me, but I ain't taking it laying down. You know what I'm saying? I was once a teenager. I was a different kind of teenager. Like, I just had one of them, like, I don't know. The world ain't made like it used to be. Like, my granny was the type, you gonna drink, you gonna smoke, well, at least I want to know what you doing type energy. Like, back then, it was Tangeray. I used to drink Tangeray with my grandmother. Woo! That's one hell of a tequila, man. If you could drink that, shit. I don't even know if it's tequila. I don't even know what it is, but it. And she would let me go outside, and she would like, I need to see how you gonna be. I was 16, smoking Newports and everything. I'd be proud of myself how far I came, cause like me not smoking cigarettes and everything and vapes. Baby, I used to sit at my granny table, two cubes of ice, double shot of Tangeray, some lime juice, pack of squares, and me and my granny would sit there, baby. We would talk about the Bible. We would talk about sex. We would talk about friendships. And she would always tell me, like, I don't have a lot of female friends. And I'd be like, why, granny? It's like I got a selective few of women that I trust. And I never understood why until I got older. Now that I'm older, I'm like, ooh, she wasn't lying, baby. She had a selective girls that she went to Jamaica with. They went to Jamaica, and these girls came around when she ran for alderman, but she didn't hang with a lot of women. But baby, did she hang with a lot of men. She loved. I mean, she had some heavy hitters on the men's side of the game. And they loved my grandmother, but they weren't in love with her. They were like real friends, like politicians, lawyers. She knew who to choose. She knew who would choose her. And I've been praying for me, my own little soul group of girls, that when God bless these finances, that I can take all over the world with me, and we can have a good time, and they can show me new things, and I can show them things about me that I never told nobody. I just want one friend that I could bare my soul to, and they could bare their soul to me, and we could be each other's human form of a diary. And I think God been, because I done met some people through YouTube that are really good to me, and I love them, and they pray for me, and they make me feel so loved. But I've been having dreams about being in sand with camels and um the scarves that are all the way over our heads, like us not being able to show like certain parts of our bodies, but we being somewhere foreign. And but God always give me that dream first, and I be trying to figure the dream out. Like, God, what are you telling me? And then a couple years later, I be where He put me in that dream. God is amazing, man. Yeah. And you know, I didn't know that until I got into spirituality that God speaks to you through your dreams. I was just thinking that I was dreaming. But then my grandmother said, "No, baby, God speaks to you through your dreams." But she said, "Don't get it twisted. The devil hear you talking to God in your prayers." That was the best advice that I could get. You know. But yeah, y'all. Dubai. It says that's Jen. Oh, child. Okay, so it wasn't. I knew it was something to put me on my behind because listen, we sitting at that table with that green bottle, baby, and I'm like, Granny. She like, you how you want it, baby? I'm sitting there and I'm thinking I'm hallucinating. I'm walking down the sides of the streets, like talking to myself, like you got to get yourself together. I knew that was a hard boy. I knew that was a strong drink. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it because it was too strong. Like I could drink with the best of them. I was able before my adopted father died and I graduated from beauty school. He bought me a gallon of tequila. Okay, and he didn't know I could drink like that. But his wife, as he was engaged to be married, his fiance was like, "Ooh, your daughter's drinking." He like, "Yeah, baby, I was toe up." Baby, I was toe up. I knew it was something. Y'all ready to go? Okay, let me get these kids home. I love y'all so much. I'm finna get ready to get out of here. I'll come back later. No, I ain't gonna lie. I, I'm finna get these kids home. I love y'all. Be kind to somebody. I'll see you soon.